What's going on, guys? So, today's topic: stop taking these dating apps seriously. And the reason why I say that is because honestly, 99% of the time, if not 100%, everybody's just a fraud on there. They're lying, whether it's using filters for their pictures, lying about things they did in their prompts, and many more. Like I said, most people there aren't there really looking for a relationship. That's why you probably notice, especially with hookup culture, a lot of these apps, really people only get on them just to hook up. And like I said, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But if you want to, you know, be in a serious, intimate relationship, dating apps really isn't the way. Now, to bring it back to what I was saying, you shouldn't take it seriously. Don't put too much effort or emotion into it. You got to let it flow. Now, obviously, if you guys do have a, dating app, you want to set up your profile, obviously, you should take take into some consideration, put in effort in your pictures. Don't be low effort in that aspect. Um, and by I mean, like most guys be taking selfie pics, gym pics, and things of that nature, which don't appeal to women at all. You got to take pictures that tell a story, talk about your lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be made up, it doesn't have to be fancy, but if you like going to the beach, take a picture at the beach. If you like nature, maybe take a picture you hiking, um just with some nice scenery, maybe one with the sunset. Maybe if you like going out to eat, take a picture at a fancy restaurant that you like going to. But to get back what I was saying, most guys, I think, and you may be one of them, just put too much emotion in it. A lot of guys aren't getting matches on these apps, whether it's Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, or is there Black or BLK, whatever that is. Um, and when they do get a match, a lot of you guys are just putting all your eggs in one basket. You're going above and beyond to make sure you can get the number and then get a date. And a lot of you guys probably can't even get the number. Even if you do, don't know how to converse with the woman properly to where it always falls short. And then when that happens, a lot of you guys, you just have this negativity towards dating or towards these dating apps, which literally will affect you in your real life. Now, I guess the way to work around that is not saying you shouldn't care, but like I said, kind of take a step back. Um, First things first, like I said, pictures have to be on point. They have to tell a story. Pretty much give a display slash trailer of your lifestyle, like how your life is. Next, you do want to get some good prompts. Don't do some generic answers. Um, have some fun with it. But like I said, don't take yourself too literal. Like I said, most of the time these people only want to hook up. They're not taking it serious. So why should you take it serious as well? And then after that, like I said, start swiping. There's gonna be women that you find attractive. There's gonna be women that find you attractive. And like I said, if a match does occur, I mean, kudos, bro. I mean, and then you just go from there. Start conversing with these women. Like I said, you don't have to go above and beyond. You don't have to write a poem. You don't have to write some fancy words. Like if she finds you attractive or if she's really interested in you, you guys can do a simple one liner pretty much. Whenever I use dating apps, like I said, my first opening line was, "Hey, how you doing?" And nine times out of ten, probably almost 10 times out of 10, I always got a response. Now, it could have been these women found me attractive, and maybe I'm only looking for women that find me attractive, which that's probably helping. But like I said, you don't have to do anything crazy to get matches. to get numbers, to get dates. You know, there's gonna be women that find you attractive, and then there's gonna be women that don't find you attractive. All you gotta do is separate them. And then once you find the women that do find you attractive, you just gotta know how to properly execute. And like I said, that'll be another video where I discuss that. But more of the story, short story, I just want to say stop taking these dating apps serious. It's not serious, bro. If you get a match, cool. If you don't, just keep it pushing, bro. But yeah, that's my message for today. Hope you guys have a good one.